Can Coach Hugh Freeze keep his squad focused going into their home opener?
Midweek Report coming at you guys, brought to you by our friends at the Rage Room. You can find them at 1510 2nd Ave in Opelika, Alabama, or if you're in the Birmingham area, 2616 7th Ave South. Throw axes, break windshields, get all the stress of college football out at the Rage Room. Great for team building, great for couples night, great for a lot of different things. But the Rage Room has got some specials running right now. When you get to the counter, let them know that the War Rapport sent you. They'll take care of you there. Longtime sponsors of the Midweek Report. We appreciate them for sponsoring this segment. Guys, you know the deal. Join as a patron. We had so many signups this past weekend, Isaac. It was phenomenal. And we want to keep that phenomenal feeling. So please sign up as a member. Game day was fun. The post game was fun. Halftime was fun. Ike was live from Waco, and that is made possible because you guys keep signing up for these memberships. Ike doesn't know it yet, guys, but we're shipping him out to Norman. He's going to Norman, whether he likes it or not. We had so
I
much
welcome that opportunity to go to Norman.
He had so much fun in Waco. I think it's only right that a member of the War Rapport, especially Ike, is there for Auburn's first trip to Norman in the history of college football. I can't wait for that. I know I can't either. So the more of you guys sign up, the more we can keep him on the road this season. I'm covering the home games. He's covering the away games. Between the two of us, man, I'm telling you, we're going to give you guys all the Auburn coverage you can handle. Help us grow our Green Name game by hitting that gifted membership button. You guys did a great job with this last weekend as well, too. Over 100 gifted memberships given away Friday and Saturday. I love that feeling. Let's keep that going. Our guy Y2K even got a membership. He's got a green. And he was in the comments this week. Ike on the Auburn Express, still here after the loss. My guy, Y2K, I hope he stays a member forever. Auburn's got one more game versus Baylor. So
I was about to say he might as well keep it for a full year so he can run it back next year.
Yes, we definitely appreciate him. And we appreciate you guys for appreciating your fellow War Rapport members who have not signed up as for a Patron membership. Check your emails, guys. There could be a membership waiting on you if you have a black name there. And before we get to the show, just want to thank our sponsor, the Vive Vault. You can find them at 3462 Crosswinds Road, Suite E in Phoenix City, Alabama. Get fresh for the weekend or for Ball State with the Vive Vault, not just barbers, lifestyle consultants. Check us out on podcast. We've got all your favorite audio only content here on podcast for you guys. The Auburn Express, Uptempo, College Loop, Just a Sec, and the War Rapport Gaming channel coming at you. Whether you're on your way to school, taking the kids to school, on your way to the gym, on your way to wherever you're going. The War Rapport has you covered with lots of great audio only content. We're growing over there as well too. As a matter of fact, our podcast growth is remarkable, and we want to continue that climb there. You guys can't see it, but there is a podcast ranking for sports, and the War Rapport is in the top 150, and we want to continue to climb those charts. So help us do that by subscribing on podcasts and turning on automatic downloads. Let's get to the show.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate everybody who is in here. Auburn is at home for the first time this season, and the opponent bringing a little match into town. They're from the MAC conference, by the way. It's Ball State.
Ball State.
And I have a bunch of pause-worthy puns that I could throw out there if necessary to spice up the dialogue this week. In case anybody's not excited enough, you can just tune in for all of the euphemisms that I can throw out here today about Auburn versus Ball State. But the game is happening this weekend, and we're looking forward to that. Let's take a look at what we got going on with the matchup preview. Ball State did not win their opener versus Purdue, back-to-back, starting the season versus P4s. Ball State fundraising this year, apparently. They're just like, man, give us all the bye games. Auburn, of course, taking care of business in their first game versus Baylor. 6:30 p.m. on ESPNU. This game will be going down this Saturday. I have Friday on there because it still was Friday from last week. Gosh, got to catch this stuff before we go live. The line has Auburn favored by 42.5. The over-under at 55.5. So they're not even expecting Ball State to score but one time. They didn't score last week, so this will be the first score of the season if they happen to score versus Auburn in this one. 98.5 is the ESPN Football Power Index percentage chance that Auburn gets the victory. Auburn leads the series 3-0. The last game was in 2009, in which Auburn won 54-30. I'm really hoping that Auburn does not give up 30 points in this game, even if they score 54. But let's talk about this game, Mike G. Auburn versus Ball State. I don't expect this game to be very difficult for Auburn.
There.
Had an opportunity to talk with our guy, Jeff Murphy, over at the Group of Five guys. He was there talking before the season about this game. Just wanted to roll back through with him and see, hey, did you have any thoughts after watching Ball State play Purdue? And he said, nope. It's about what I thought it was going to be. They didn't compete well versus Purdue. I don't anticipate them competing well versus Auburn in this one. Any thoughts just kind of preliminarily on this game, Auburn versus Ball State this weekend?
As you mentioned in your cold open, they've got to stay focused. And how you prepare for this game says just as much as about your team as how you prepare for your top 25 matchups, for your conference games, for your Alabamas, for your Texas A&Ms. Can Hugh Freeze get his team to prepare like champions when the opponent is Ball State? That's, I think, what we're going to learn about Auburn. Can they stay focused? Will they allow a team like this to come in and steal momentum? Or you know, you think back over college football history about all the huge upsets. The first one that comes to mind always is Michigan versus Appalachian State. There's no way they.
My mind is ULM versus Alabama.
Yeah, right. But there's no way on paper you should be able to compete in that game.
Yeah.
A few years ago, when Hartson was the coach, Auburn almost made that list versus Georgia State.
Yeah.
The TJ Finley comeback of the century. The throw to Shed Jackson in the back of the end zone, or Auburn lands on that list of teams, Ike.
Yeah.
That came in completely unfocused and blew it.
I mean, unfortunately, Auburn is still on that list because of New Mexico State a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if that's as bad as.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not.
It's not. I mean, it's bad, but it's not as bad as some of those other ones.
They've got to tune up the passing game. So we'll see Hugh Freeze let Jackson Arnold let it fly in this one. I think he lets him run. I think Hugh Freeze likes the idea of Jackson Arnold leading the SEC and rushing after 1 week. And
yeah, listen, man, he's not he's not shy about liking having a quarterback that has the ability to be dual threat in that way. But what I want to see from Jackson Arnold is, well, not necessarily just from Jackson Arnold, but from Auburn offensively, is continue to be patient and not trying to force things.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I loved the fact that they just were like, fine, if this is what you're going to keep giving us, we'll keep taking it. And I know that there are going to be teams that are going to give that to you and they'll be able to actually stop it. And so your temptation is in this game, well, let's just figure it out now versus this team. But I think you just need to not give them any hope. Like, whatever you have to do to crush their hopes early in this game, that's what you should do. If that means running the ball 40 times in the first half and racking up 300 yards in one half of football, do that. I don't care. Like, just don't give them any hope.
Yeah, I think that if you're Auburn, you've amassed all this talent so that you can do that a multitude of ways versus a team like this.
Yeah.
Throw it a bunch of times if that's what you need. Run it, like you said, if that's what you need. But you should be able to do it any way you feel like in this game. And no disrespect to Ball State, but we've spent hours upon hours upon hours, hundreds of hours on this channel this offseason talking about creating a talent gap between you and a lot of other teams in college football through recruiting. I want to see Cam Coleman get involved.
Yeah.
His dad texted me before the game, and Bobby Coleman and I, high school classmates, and he said, lifelong Alabama fan, by the way. And he said, man, I'm starting to get excited for this one, Mike. He wanted to see Cam go out there and ball. And so you got to look, man, two reasons, Bobby Coleman, anything, but you understand what I'm saying. You got to go. You have to get your playmakers on the outside of the ball here in this one. Let them feel good. And if you can't do that in this kind of game, you may not be as good as you think you are. They need to be able to go out and throw the ball up to Perry and Cam and Horatio and Eric Singleton and Malcolm. Get those guys involved because you want them to have a good feel for the offense headed into Oklahoma when you undoubtedly will need them to make plays for you. Now, look, if you're a receiver, you just got to be ready no matter what. I think that five-star players just step up and make plays whenever they're called on. Cam Coleman did not get a lot of opportunities to catch the football, but when Jackson Arnold needed a big catch, he was there. High pointing the football, making the catch in the most athletic way possible.
Yeah.
So I want to see the receivers get involved. I want to see Jackson Arnold throw the ball with anticipation. I want to see him throw the ball with accuracy. Did you, speaking of Jackson Arnold throwing the ball, did you catch during the broadcast when on rewatch on that third down seam pass to Malcolm Simmons? The commentator had just got through saying there are not a lot of calls for 3rd and 17. Oh, first down, Auburn.
Yeah.
Malcolm up the middle. There are not a lot of calls for 3rd and 17, but they had one.
Yeah.
And Jackson Arnold made a very difficult throw.
This is why I don't even want to entertain the conversation of what and why I disagree with the idea that you have to do anything in this game other than win it. Jackson Arnold made good throws and good decisions in this game. Yeah. I think they just need to be continuing in the habit of doing what the defense dictates to you. Now, if they play it straight up and you've got a choice of which one you do, then maybe you lean a little bit heavier into, okay, we're going to give our guys some chances out here versus this stuff, right? If they're going to play too high again and they ran again in our comment section, a bunch of people being like, well, they blamed it on Baylor playing too high. You can run past concepts versus too high. Auburn did multiple times, ran too high stuff, beaters, and won. So It's just like I don't understand the commentary and the critique on something when it's clearly on tape them doing it.
Yeah.
Like Jackson Arnold made good decisions, made good throw. The shot that he took to Malcolm Simmons up the sideline, that was a dime. Malcolm dropped it. Yeah. Now, great defense, DB right there in his hip pocket, hands in his vision, but he put that on the money. And that was against a too high safety look. Just look the safety off and let it rip up the sidelines. Like, I don't understand the commentary about this when there's film that shows you none of that stuff is true. So I just want to see Auburn go out there and execute at a high level, whatever that takes. But I do agree with you. If they have an opportunity to let it fly, they should. Just to shut some people up and be like, oh, he can't throw, right?
Yeah.
Ball
Yeah.
State gave up 340 yards in the air to Purdue in that first game.
Man. Yeah.
So you've got to assume that Ball State's coming into this game afraid of Auburn's run defense and saying, man, we gave up a bunch of pass yards last week, and this team ran for a bunch of yards this past week. What are we supposed to do? I don't know what they do, honestly, because if you say to yourself, we can't let them run, you might get a 400 yards put on your head.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah. Look, Auburn's got the guys that can win. Malcolm Simmons can win. Eric Singleton can win. Horatio Fields can win. Perry Thompson can win. Cam Coleman can win. And it looks like we're going to see a heavy dose of 11 personnel this season.
Yeah.
Again, didn't see any 10. I don't remember a 10 personnel play versus Baylor. Right. But, they will rotate guys, and in a big game now, they'll rotate guys. They'll get multiple guys out there on the outside. They'll get multiple guys at the slot, and they're going to give them a chance to go out there and win and make plays. So this should be one of those rack up stats kind of games where there's no reason. There's no reason to not have multiple 100-yard receivers in this game.
Yeah, you should be again to your point. You should be able to do whatever you want to do, really.
Yeah, they should be able to just do whatever they want to do. And I'm all about not putting anything on tape for Oklahoma to study. But I don't know. Look, man, he was literally on their team, so I don't even know how much it matters.
Which
right? As far as Oklahoma preparing for Jackson Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
The looks matter. The looks that Hugh Freeze are going to throw at them matter. But as to the extent that you don't give anything away, because I really don't think they gave anything away in the passing game versus Baylor. Not much. Yeah. They've still got something in the tank for SEC play. And if Auburn's opening SEC slate, it's all about surviving. Survive that opening SEC slate, and you 3 games: Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia, to define your season. I've said it till I'm blue in the face. Win 1 at this now that you beat Baylor, and you're in great shape. But in mid-October, primed to head into November, a 6-2 playoff contender. The conversation has changed. If you guys haven't seen the segment that we dropped this morning with Taylor Davis, she talked about the sort of changing of the guard when it comes to Alabama. And Saturday, it became apparent Kalen DeBoer might actually be in over his head. I don't know. I think any coach following Nick Saban would have potentially been in that spot.
Yeah, listen, I don't know how many coaches you hire that are going to be able to keep that precedent up, but it's such a drastic change of just culture and everything that's going to take, I don't know if he's got it. This is the same thing with Brian Harsin, right? Where it's it's not that you're necessarily a bad coach. You might be a bad fit here, and you definitely don't have enough time to do the things that you want to do to get this program in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they went into that situation understanding you don't really got time to play around here, bro. This got to look good in a hurry. And then the landscape changing in the same time, especially with more teams being able to make the college football playoff, meaning there's no reason why you shouldn't make it in their eyes. It's bad. That's a bad mix, man. It's a bad mix.
It is a bad mix. Saturday is going to be about Auburn staying focused, putting this opponent away early, and letting the backups get a chance to come into the game and get some burn. We could see a heavy dose of Deuce night. This is going to be my talking point for the rest of the week. I think Jackson Arnold is exactly what I thought he was going to be. A playmaker, a 5-star playmaker. And everyone who acted like his 5-star essence was left him. It's just a little premature.
Yep.
We saw him for practically just one season at Oklahoma when they were an absolute mess. He came into a better situation, and for what it's worth, there are a few analysts on the Auburn side, definitely us and some others, and a lot of fans trying to explain to the world and the Baylor fans, this is this whatever you saw on tape last year, you might as well just forget it. This is going to be a very, very different football team. So they went out there and they showed that. Now there's a way versus a Ball State to test if that's true, Ike. By going again, bury this opponent early.
Yeah,
and
don't even play around, bro.
No, yeah, don't let them even think they have a chance. And then put Deuce Knight on the field and show the world what your future looks like.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I am this is I'm very much anticipating seeing Deuce Knight take the field in this game. And this has been my disappointment with Auburn over the last 4 or 5 years, is that we don't really get true opportunities to see the backup in these games because Auburn was playing around in the first half, and you end up having to play your starter too long, right? Like even when Alabama A&M last year, right? I think they like Peyton Thorne played like into the third quarter of that game. Listen, man, I don't want to see it, dog. Jackson, after you come back out from halftime, Jackson Arnold doesn't need to have a helmet on.
That's
Deuce Knight, second half is yours, bro. Go get it.
Yeah. Deuce Knight. And if you're asking, what about Ashton? No disrespect to him, but what about him? He came here with 1 year of eligibility left, so he was prepared for the possibility he may not play.
Yeah.
Get Deuce and get your future, and the Deuce Knight is your future. Field and get fans excited, because low key that's a recruiting tool. He goes out there and lights it up, and then you go tell every single 5-star receiver from here to California, come play with this guy.
Right, because like in 2 years, this is the guy. So when you're in your prime, ready to make it happen, this is going to be the guy tossing the football to you.
Wow, you've got such a golden opportunity here. Caesar said this on our Sunday show about Arch Manning, that there are a lot of people just trying to bury him way too early. But Texas's situation at quarterback since Steve Sarkisian has been here, unreal. It would be nice to see that there is a true heir apparent.
Yeah.
In our perfect world, in our Auburn wet dream, Jackson Arnold is gangbusters for 2 years and then passes the baton to a quarterback who has been in Hugh Freeze's system for 2 years, who is mature and who is clearly the leader of the team. So you get a mature veteran guy that's been in your system to step in and run this thing, man. And if you missed at some of the skill positions, Deuce will fill the gap, man. He'll close the gap there until those guys catch up. One of the highest rated recruits in Auburn football history. We should get a chance to see him on the field Saturday.
Yeah,
I
think this is the game to go right. Yeah, you need, because of the 2 games that are coming up here, Ball State and South Alabama, Ball State is easily the lesser opponent of those 2. And so your opportunity to make sure that freshman gets his chance, because we honestly didn't get that chance with Walker White, right? Like Walker White played 5 snaps before he left Auburn, because there was just never an opportunity to really get him out there on the field and throw the football. And it had to be the last, cupcake of the year. He went out there for a couple of plays. Like, I don't want to see that for Deuce Knight this year, man. Listen, we got 3 cupcake games. He needs to make 3 appearances, right? Like, he needs to be able to see the field 3 different games at least this season, and playing at least a quarter of football in each of those. And so, but again, to your point, the reason why that makes sense is because of the recruiting aspect of it. Is like you don't. What do you really need to see from Ashton Daniels in this game? Nothing. Like I don't know that there's anything that you need to see from him in this game, because he's not going to be here regardless next season.
Yeah.
This game should be about getting a big lead and letting the guy who is the heir apparent get real football. Ashton Daniels has played plenty of collegiate football.
Unless you really feel like Deuce is not ready to step into QB2.
Yeah, if he's not ready.
Yeah. And Ashton is going to be the next guy up if Jackson Arnold gets injured. So that's the scenario where I think, but they have not said anything that indicated that that's the case. Quite the opposite. Hugh Freeze has taken every opportunity to praise Deuce Knight, talking about him going 7 for 7 in their mock game, looking like a veteran out there throwing darts. And I mean, Hugh knows what he's doing. He knows Deuce is hearing that. Deuce's family is hearing that. Yeah. And when the offseason comes, it's just a little bit easier to make sure he stays on your roster. I'm telling you, what happened on Friday night at Baylor in Waco, Texas, was Hugh Freeze took a lot of the negative recruiting bullets out of the gun, out of the pew-pew for other SEC coaches. Because there has been a ton of negative recruiting going on
towards the momentum that we've been talking about could potentially happen in this season leading up to early signing day. This was a great start towards it, because you went out there as an offense and you put up points, and that has been the big issue with Auburn the last couple of seasons. Now, the defense didn't perform as you would want them to, but that wasn't the question mark going into this season as to whether or not the defense could get it together. And you still, at the end of this, you're like, that didn't look so great, and maybe we'll see what happens. But you had significant questions about whether or not Hugh Freeze could put a competent offense out there on the field. And the answer to that in this Baylor game was absolutely yes, to the tune of 31 from the offense, but 31 points. You answered that question in a resounding way on the road versus a Power 4 opponent early in the season. That allows for that momentum to happen. That next step in that recruiting momentum is, look what we've got in the cupboard still that we haven't even put out here for you guys to see. Let the rest of those freshmen that barely played, bunch of snaps for them in the second half of this game. They need to all get out there and show everybody what the next level of that, and then also show the rest of the world, man, this Auburn team's got depth, bro. Like, I know that first wave of people looks really good on paper. Man, the second wave not just looks good on paper. They're out there competing really well against the likes of course, Ball State, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go out there and put it on them for 4 quarters with the 4th string. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Saturday should be fun. I know you're going to be in the studio operating the live stream. I'll be at the game, my first game of the season, live from the press box. But I will be, my eyes are going to be hyper focused on execution, on details, on accuracy from the quarterback, on blocking. You know, do they continue to grade out well? Now, part of your film review is, I know you look at the PFF rankings for those guys. We talk about them on the show to see how they grade out in run blocking and pass blocking. Great stats that we get there from our friends over at PFF. But you want to see those guys grade well versus an opponent like this, where they should just physically outmatch people. Hold on to the football, man, and score a lot of points and just have fun, but do it paying attention to details and focusing on this opponent like they are any other opponent. Go out there and beat the shit out of Ball State, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's the absolute challenge, is don't read your press clippings this week about how great you did in the first game, and you know, you got so hyped up for Baylor and you went out there and you handled business, and then you come back for your first home game and you don't take it seriously, and you go out there and you sleepwalk through the first couple quarters, and you let Ball State get a little bit of, oh man, we might be able to come in here and pull off an upset type of vibes. No, go out there and absolutely skull drag this team for 4 quarters, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to see a heavy dose of Perry Thompson on Saturday. I'm never going to move off that. Again, he's your future. And he's been a great teammate. He's been patient. He's been focused. You know, if he's been in his playbook and he's done everything that's asked, he should get an opportunity to rack up a lot of yards and a couple of touchdowns on Saturday. He looked great during 8A Ike. I know it wasn't televised, but you know, for those of us who were there, Perry looked every bit of a 5-star receiver. And you got to start to reward the loyalty that these guys showed this offseason by coming back and by not being wooed away, because overtures were made to a lot of Auburn guys. And that negative recruiting is not just toward high school recruits.
For sure.
It's toward current players on your roster by other coaches saying, that's a sinking ship. Come join us before it goes all the way down. You can really flatten that narrative for a few weeks here by just beating Ball State badly. Now, I gave a prediction to this game that won't air until tomorrow morning on the score, but I'm going to give that prediction here. I'm in the second half when we do that. Like, I'm going to give my prediction on this game and what I think that looks like.
For sure. Well, let's get into the break here, because I want to get to some of these comments that are out here. Appreciate everybody who's decided to jump in here on a not as exciting Wednesday, right? You're not leading up to the Baylor game in Waco, but definitely excited to see Auburn at home for the first time this season with a little bit of wind in their sails. So hopefully that momentum will continue. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the content with somebody. We will be right back after this quick word from our sponsors.
This edition of the War Report is brought to you by our generous sponsors. Golden's Cast Iron. Whether you work out, grill out, or chill out, you deserve the best life possible, and Golden's Cast Iron is here to provide the tools to help you do it. Check them out at goldenscastiron.com.
The Rage Room. The Rage Room is a place where anger and stress find their ultimate release. Set up a session today at one of the 2 great locations in Opelika or Birmingham by visiting opelikaRageRoom.com or BirminghamRageRoom.com.
You guys know the deal. Join as a member. Great community we have here, our Green Name Gang. Support everything that we do by joining as a Patron member. $5.99 a month will get you there. Game day is exciting times, and we've got a great community. We restrict some things to member only on game day. So if you want to be a part of the pregame and halftime chats, you definitely want to be a member. Also, Ike is dropping film reviews every week to let y'all know what happened in the game, and you got to be a member to see that content as well too. So some stuff behind the paywall, some chats, like it's just a whole experience here at the War Rapport, and our patrons lead the way. So help them do that by joining as one of them for $5.99. Guys, you can give the gift of the War Rapport by hitting that gifted membership button. So many memberships given away. Let's keep this going. Check your email. You might have a membership sitting in there waiting on you if you interact with our channel at a high level, but have not hit the join button yet. So our guy Y2K got himself a membership. I appreciate him for all the engagement in the lead up to the Baylor game. But look, we want to keep that going, and we want other people to share in that experience. So hit that gifted membership button, help somebody else become a member. I want to thank our friends at AIMA and Associates. We always encourage our listeners to support our sponsors, and that includes Abel's, Iannone, Moore and Associates. And I know some of you might think, I don't have enough money for a financial advisor, or maybe it hasn't crossed your mind at all. But the truth is, nearly everyone can benefit from financial guidance. The best part is no upfront costs. Abel's, Iannone, Moore and Associates offers an initial consultation so you can see if they're the right fit for you. It's not just about investing. It's about creating a plan that gives you flexibility and helps you build wealth over time for yourself and for your family. Call Abel's, Iannone, Moore and Associates at 912-777-4128 or visit AINC.com. I'm confident you'll be glad you did. Guys, everyone thinks I got to be a millionaire to need a financial advisor. You don't need to be a millionaire. You just need a paycheck and some goals and something you care about, and these guys can help you. I know that in our household, we've got some things that we're going to do next summer, and our financial advisor that's at AIM are helping us figure out how to get there. The War Rapport has been compensated by Abel's Iannone Moore and Associates for this endorsement. AIM and Associates is a registered investment advisor. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. The information in this advertisement is for informational purposes only and should not be considered personalized investment advice. All investing involves risk, including the loss of potential principal, and past performance is not indicative of future results. I want to thank our friends at the Rogue Shop. Visit rogueshop.com. Use code RAPPORT to get 15% off your Rogue Shop order. Pain, sleep, stress, anxiety, whatever ails you in life, the Rogue Shop has something that has you covered. It's a non-traditional world, and you may need some non-traditional methods to dealing with your non-traditional problems. Well, the Rogue Shop has a myriad of products that could help you along the way. They've been longtime sponsors of the show. I appreciate our guy Richard for sponsoring. He puts a little extra something in there for everybody using code Rapport. So head on over to rogueshop.com today and use code Rapport to get 15% off your Rogue Shop order. Also want to thank our friends at setsforsociety.ai. The path to knowing self starts with Sets for Society. They have custom personality assessments to let you know more about how you think, how those around you think, and how you can best think together to achieve like goals. Do you want to be a better teammate, a better coworker, a better partner? Well, Sets for Society can help you understand where you fit in the equation of teamwork and life. Visit setsforsociety.ai today to get your custom personality assessment started. It costs you nothing to get started. Just head to the website, fill out the initial questionnaire, and someone will reach out to you to get your process started. Get to know yourself with setsforsociety.ai. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank our friends at the Vive Vault. You can find them at 3462 Crosswinds Road, Suite E in Phoenix City, Alabama. That's right across from the CBC Community College, next to Renfro Supermarket and Marco's Pizza. The Vive Vault, not just barbers, lifestyle consultants.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you all for jumping in here. And let's get over into this comment section because there's plenty of them going around. Jonathan Boyson will get us kicked off here and says, I don't want to see Arnold after halftime. Maybe first drive of the second half, but that's it.
I would agree with this.
I agree.
At halftime, if he is on the bench, Auburn, you done good.
Yep. Stephen Neely. How much does Oklahoma put on tape versus Michigan this week? They better put whatever they need to.
Yeah, if they want to win the game, they better put everything they got in the tank.
Yeah, Michigan's defense is no joke. Hasn't been even in that down season last year. So yeah, they better go out there and handle business. Super chat, appreciate it. D-Lev, who says, quote of the preseason from last Wednesday's show, there is nothing wrong with being excited about the upcoming season. Mike G, are y'all excited yet? I am.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being excited. And this whole, I'll wait until it happens before, like, my problem with that is it cheats the team out of the enthusiasm that Auburn fans are so famous for. Don't get down on them before it's happened. I get it. Like, look, man, if you've entrusted your emotional well-being to Auburn football, maybe talk to Abel's Iannone and more about how you can best invest that energy. I get it. I understand it. It feels like somebody took your investment and threw it right in the trash. However, these guys, I think at the beginning of every season, with all the work they put in off season, earn our optimism versus our pessimism before games are played.
Yep, absolutely. Felix jumps in. Mike G and Ike, what do we have to do to give a little respect around the country? Hell, I'll settle for just a little SEC at this point. Come on, man. Yeah. Listen, keep winning. Like, listen, winning cures all of this. And I don't know that Auburn needs respect right now, right? Like, just keep earning it, right? Respect is something that you should earn. And Auburn put themselves in the deficit of respect from a lot of people around the country. but you keep winning, and that respect will definitely show up. You got plenty of opportunities to earn respect this season.
Our segment with SEC Unfiltered, our power rank drops tomorrow afternoon. It was funny. I won't give it away, but Chris moved Auburn up the rankings, just maybe not as far as you might have thought. And it's so funny to me. Like he said, he was like, "Look, man, they're better than I thought. They're better than I thought they were, but I still got trauma." And I'm like, again, I get it. So there's a lot of cautious optimism. I am a little surprised that with the way they won that game, that they didn't move just inside the top 25. That was a little surprising.
I'm not shocked at all, honestly, from where they started. I'm not surprised. And I think, though it was a P4 opponent, the only reason why, let me give a little caveat to the only reason why it's remotely surprising is some of the teams that are ranked ahead of them. And it's just like, I don't know if that's a top 25 team right there. So, but again, winning will continue to cure all. You just got to keep winning, and they will find their way into the position that they should be in. Anthony Long says this won't be a popular opinion, but Auburn should not be I don't think you meant that double negative. Shouldn't not be in the 25 for finally looking like a competent football team. Let's beat OK first. I don't even think you have to get to the Oklahoma game before Auburn would get into the top 25.
Yeah, but assuming some teams in front of them lose as well, too, right?
Right, yes. Someone in front of them will lose inevitably, right? Because there are teams that are in the top 25 that play one another before Auburn goes to Oklahoma. So, yes, Auburn will likely be in the top 25 when they make the trip to Norman, and that's going to put a whole bunch of extra juice on that game.
I will tell you this. I'm not going to give it away, but Alabama, the biggest drop in SEC Unfiltered Power Rankings history. SEC Mike, I will give his away because it's out there, dropped them to 15 in his SEC Power Rankings.
That's a little.
I was like, SEC Mike. I was like, Mike,
is he a Bama fan?
You're rage baiting a little bit. No, he's definitely not.
Okay,
he's definitely not. Look, I think he was one of those guys that was high on Kalen DeBoer headed into the season. He wasn't alone. Josh Pate was. A lot of these guys were high on Kalen DeBoer. And boy, I think that they were hurt when Kalen showed that he might not be the coach that they thought he was.
Yeah.
So,
there were a lot of people. Listen, we go to SEC Media Days, and there were a lot of people around there trying to convince me that Alabama was just going to walk through this conference. They were back this season to being a team that was going to compete for the SEC championship. And it's still not too late for that. They haven't played a single SEC game, but I don't think any of those people who thought Bama was back this year thought that they'd get what happened in Tallahassee was going to happen in that way. I don't think a single one of those people said to themselves, the Alabama that I expect to go 10-2, one of those two is going to be Florida State in Tallahassee by double digits.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. There's a lot of convincing that's got to happen for a lot of people to get back on that train. And again, Bama may turn it around and only end up losing 3 games this season. Who knows? But it ain't looking good out the gate. Let's just be honest.
It got Wisconsin and Georgia in the next 3 weeks.
Wisconsin, unfortunately, their starting quarterback got hurt in the first game, so that's going to take a little bit off of that. But that Georgia game, buddy, y'all, you got pushed around by Florida State.
Alabama to win that game preseason, and there's a lot of backtracking happening right now.
Deets, I want to see Baylor destroy SMU and Auburn go out and take care of business. Have a clean game and stars get stats, then maybe get some respect and get ranked. Yeah, I think if you handle business the right way, you might see the top 25 even after this weekend. You're just outside of the top 25 right now. They're 27 in the poll right now, so it's not like they're not within striking distance of it. Yes.
Oh, I thought in the poll I looked at, there were a lot. They were in the others receiving votes, and there were a lot of teams in front of them. I thought when I looked,
I thought I saw them. They were, maybe it was the coaches poll that they were 20.
I think it was coaches poll. Yeah.
So again, I do think that you're in striking distance of being able to get ranked here, but it starts with handling your business and letting the rest of that fall at where it's going to be. Because again, you've got plenty of other opportunities to prove that you are a team that deserves to be there because of the schedule and the people that you play.
Yeah. Kansas State and Boise State dropped out of the rankings in the AP, and in the others receiving votes, Utah, Louisville, Missouri, Kansas State, Tulane, and USC receiving more votes than Auburn.
Yeah. War Dank Eagle, the solution for Bama is obvious. Fire DeBoer, hire Belichick. Okay.
Just keep firing and hiring coaches, and then fire him and hire somebody else.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I don't know why I care if there's a solution for Bama. So hopefully that was sarcasm because Belichick looked awful in his first game. But yeah, the solution for Bama is keep losing. Let's see. Rhino Ranchero says it's nice. It's so nice that this year we played a solid team before our cupcakes. Now we can focus on what we struggled with against Baylor in our next 2 games. I agree. Like there is a win or lose that first game, you got an opportunity to stress test yourself and figure out where you needed to improve and get a couple of games to get that together. It feels better to win that game and still walk away with something especially from a coaching perspective. You get to win a big game and walk away with a way to keep your team humble, right? If nothing else, that defense should be fired up for this Ball State game to say, no, that was not who we are. Yeah. What we showed you guys at Baylor was not who we are. And I do think that Jackson Arnold and those wide receivers are itching to say, yes, we're exactly what you guys thought we were going to be, and wanting to put up a bunch of yards in the air and absolutely not allow Ball State to score any points. Like, I feel like that's the mood in that locker room right now is people are doubting us for various reasons. They don't think we can throw the ball. They don't think that we can tackle. They don't think we can get the assignments right on defense. We got something to prove still, and Ball State should feel all of that. Tristan Pace, if you put something with that, then I did not see it. I apologize, but thank you for that super sticker there. And there's a super chat from you right here. It feels like a lot of people are backtracking on how good they said Baylor was just to make us look worse. They do not want us ranked, man. I actually agree with this. There were people who had Baylor in the top 25 in their preseason rankings, and Baylor is still a team that's being picked to win. If a team is supposed to be good enough to win the Big 12, then that's a team you think is a top 12 team at the end of the year, right? Yeah. And now all of a sudden, oh, well, maybe they weren't that good if Auburn beat them like that. Like, that's crazy.
See, here's the problem I have. Florida State beat Bama and rocketed from unranked way up the rankings.
Yeah. Which, I mean, listen, Bama was a top 10 team, so that makes sense.
But the point that a lot of people, myself included, are making is this: the bias from where they were ranked in week 1 is what influences that rocket up. So instead of just de-ranking and re-ranking all the teams for week 2, Bama wasn't as good as you thought they were. So you should not get that much credit for beating them because they weren't a good team that week. This is why they don't start the college football playoff rankings until halfway through the season now.
Right.
So you can start those rankings from where teams actually are.
Yeah. The only problem, though, and this is always going to be the problem with preseason rankings, is a portion of what they look at with the college football playoff rankings is the quality of the opponent that you play. And a portion of that has to do with where that person was ranked the time that you played. So it's never going to fully remove that preseason ranking bias from the equation. But I do think that there needs to be a situation in which, to your point, maybe after week 1 and everybody's had a game, you wipe the slate clean and you say, okay, who had the best showing of this? Not who played blah, blah. Okay, did you play a Power 4 opponent? Did you play somebody on your level? Let's evaluate how you played versus them, regardless of how good you think that team is. And then let's rank it from there with how they do that. I think that that's a better way to do that rather than this imbalance of what the preseason rankings we thought this team was going to be, and now they're not. Because there's a bunch of people who thought Florida State was going to be good last year to start the season. They were like, oh, it's first game of the season, Florida State. And Florida State went out there and got mopped.
Yeah. I will say this when it comes to preseason rankings, because the AP poll has become such a joke, right? And it will remain that way until we get a vote. And then it'll be a poll you can take seriously. But when you look at Baylor, I want you to consider this. Baylor, widely believed to be a team to contend for the Big 12 crown coming into the season.
Right.
Yet they started the season unranked.
Right.
And if you're Auburn, you don't get credit for beating a Big 12 contender.
Right.
Because the perception of that conference is so low, their contender wasn't even ranked. And then if you're Baylor, you didn't really benefit, at least initially, from the game, because Auburn was like very not highly regarded coming into this one.
I think that was the danger always for Baylor in this, though, is that you beat Auburn and everybody's like, well, that's what you were supposed to do. Auburn's not going to be very good this year. But then when Auburn wins the game, now all of a sudden, well, maybe Baylor's not that good. And it's like, well, how about this? Maybe Baylor actually is good and Auburn's good too.
Yeah. Both teams are
crazy thought.
They were. Yeah. Again, you got it wrong on both teams, especially Auburn in the preseason. And now Auburn's going to pay for that until like week 6.
Yeah, because again, some kind of way. Now, Oklahoma, fortunately for Auburn, Oklahoma will have played another team with a pulse in Michigan before Auburn sees them. So you will have an opportunity to say but if Oklahoma doesn't play well versus Michigan and Auburn walks into Norman and wins that game, it will all of a sudden be that Oklahoma is not very good.
Yeah. Well, you just got to keep beating teams until at some point you're going to have to beat a team that they think is good. It's the SEC, right? So you've got those opportunities on the schedule if you're Auburn.
For sure. Exclusive TV says the Pirate champ broke his thumb. We have depth, though. Yep. Coach Freeze confirmed that the surgery went well for Champ Anthony on that broken thumb, and he may only miss a couple of games. So he could potentially be back by that Oklahoma game. If not, he should be in return duty by the Texas A&M game, or at least available to play. But to the second half of this, it's good. Auburn has depth. But, man, Champ Anthony is a dude out there. Like, he really is one of the better defensive backs on this team. And so but it is an opportunity for one of those young guys that has not played a lot to step up and get some chances out there to play. Jazzy Joe with the super chat says, tell them to keep hating. They'll be backpedaling on us too, and it will be wonderful to watch. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are going to have to eat their words about a lot of stuff they said about Auburn during this preseason, man.
Yeah, the hope that we were projecting here from our platform, I hope that people saw after Friday night it wasn't misplaced. Yeah, I mean, how many of you guys came to the comment section, to the chat, to tell me 38 points is crazy? No way Auburn scores 38. And I said, I don't want to buy into that bias about what last year's team was. I think that fundamentally what they're going to do is going to be different, and it has a chance to pay off for Auburn big time. It did. So they scored 38. And now everybody believes. So I'll just get ready for more of that. If Auburn stays healthy, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to score a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, I get people who were like, I'm cautiously, optimistic about it, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But man, hope's not something that you run out of. Like, you can replenish your hope pretty quickly. It's like, I'm fine with extending my hope for another season that it will be different this time, as long as it doesn't lend itself to delusion. Right. And I don't think that there's a delusion about how talented this team is going to be, and has proven to be through this first game of the season. So we'll see how it continues. Al Dente says, yo, it's already been 4
months.
Say what?
Oh, I was just read 45 months as a member.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Almost been 4 years in the green name gang. Champ's injury might work out for the better because he's a dog at the start Ja at free safety. So Jaquez Robinson is who he's referring to there. Listen, man, if it's going to happen for Champ and it be something that's not going to keep him out for, the season like it was last time for Arkansas, it's better for it to happen early and better for it to happen while you're playing some of these perceived cupcakes so that the young guys get an opportunity to play. We've already seen a very liberal usage of them going in and playing younger guys in that first game. They were rotating pretty frequently. So this allows you to get some of these guys that may not have had an opportunity in that first game to get some significant snaps in this second game and see where they are as far as their preparedness and readiness to go out there and contribute during a real game scenario, regardless of who the opponent is, before you have to have them show up in some other spot later. Let's see here. Membership in here from Ron's Premier Lawn Care. Thank you so much for joining. Jazzy Joe dropped 10 gifted memberships out here on the people. So everybody, those 10 people, be on the lookout for that. Milton Mitchell says Auburn is 27. They are behind BYU, who is 26 in the AP poll. So
yeah, I don't know which poll he's looking at.
Yeah, again, I thought I saw that they were 27. Again, it might have been the coaches poll, which is fine. But again, it'll all work itself out. Looking for that to be the case here soon. Mike G, let's pivot back over here and talk about this game, Auburn versus Ball State. And what we haven't talked a lot about is, we've mentioned it, but the defense, right? We've talked about the past game and whether or not they need to make a showing. What do you want to see from Auburn's defense in this game versus a Ball State team that, again, has yet to score a single point this season, did not score versus Purdue? What do you want to see happen with this Auburn defense in this game?
I think it's simple, right? I want to see gap integrity, and I want to see Keldrick Falk hit their quarterback a bunch of times. Then go sit on the bench. And I want to see whoever's backing him up to come in and do the same thing. I want to see Auburn get after the quarterback. One of the things that struck me about Friday night was, and you've probably heard me say this stat a bunch of times since, but Sawyer Robertson was the second most protected quarterback in the Big 12 last year. He was under pressure on under 24% of his dropbacks. Auburn sacked him like 4 or 5 times. And yes, he threw for a bunch of yards, but out of desperation. He wasn't back
they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah. He wasn't back there comfortably throwing for 400 yards. He was running around using every bit of everything he had as a quarterback to make those plays for Baylor. And they played from behind the whole game. So, of course, he threw for a bunch of yards. To your point about them not being able to run, 65 yards rushing. Yikes, man.
Yeah.
So it was all they had. They actually outgained Auburn in total yardage in that game.
Yeah.
483, I think, to 415. So, but you see, all yards are not made equally. So you had more yards, but whose yards were more effective?
Correct.
Baylor looked like Auburn last year, moving the ball freely between the 20s. But when you got to the end zone, mistakes, miscues, misplays, missed opportunities for touchdowns. What I want to see from Auburn's defense, though, is continuing to get after the quarterback. Because I don't want to look too far. I don't want fans to look too far ahead because Auburn has 2 football games they have to take care of. But when you get to Norman, you're going to have to get after John Mateer.
Yeah. Because
he is fundamentally a much better quarterback than Sawyer Robertson.
Ooh, I'm going to ask the Baylor folks what they think about that.
Yeah,
who would you rather have, John Mateer or Sawyer
Robertson? And I'm telling you, I think if you give him too much time, he's going to burn you. But they're going to finish drives in their house. If you're Auburn, you have to get in there and you have to disrupt that. You have to make him uncomfortable. You cannot afford to walk into Norman for the first time ever in the history of college football and let John Mateer kick his proverbial feet up and do what he wants.
Yeah. Make him uncomfortable.
This your house, but I got the remote. And this is your house, but I got the aux cord. I'm playing what I want to play. This is your house, but I pay the mortgage. So I do what I want to do. That's what the pass rush can give Auburn when they visit Norman. I thought they did a decent enough job on Sawyer Robertson. And at some point, you have to give the quarterback that you face credit. Sawyer Robertson is a good quarterback. And what good quarterbacks do is, despite dire circumstances, they make plays.
Yeah.
So he made plays. I gave him 21 points. But I thought that he would make enough to get them on the board. I just thought Auburn would make a lot more.
Yeah. And listen, I think anybody who respected Baylor enough would give them a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, right. Like I mean, giving them less than 21 felt unfair.
Yeah.
And would not have been objective. So, I gave them 21. They scored 24. The story was always going to be, would Auburn score more than that? Would Auburn get more than about 21 to 24 points to win that football game?
Right.
So versus Ball State, I want to see the defense continue to get after the quarterback, to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. If he's going to make plays on you, make him make them on the run.
Yeah, which is what he had. Like he's a mobile guy. He's one of those dual threat types. And he's going to be willing to make plays with his legs, but I think they need to turn him into a runner though, right? Like whatever he sees out there, it needs to look like a blanket over his receivers and make him a runner in this game, and then close out on him and make tackles in space. Because he's got some ability with his legs, but just don't allow him to go crazy out there. That defensive line, to your point, is really where I want to see them start to dominate the pocket, right? Like, don't let him out of this pocket. If he starts to run to escape, man, one of the most impressive plays from the game was Keldrick Falk running down one of their wide receivers in the open field after he had made a couple of people miss. And watching him 20, 30 yards down the field go run a receiver down. Auburn's just got pure athletes on their team, and I want to see that athleticism overwhelm Ball State on defense, specifically early and often in this game, and absolutely make them feel like, man, I thought we had it bad last week versus Purdue. This is ridiculous. Like I want their coach walking out of that stadium into the locker room saying, man, we really got our teeth kicked in this entire game. Like we were not ready for this.
Yeah.
And he will have a P4 opponent to compare it to and say, all right, well, we thought we made some things and got some things together, but Auburn's at a different level than what that Purdue team was last week that we faced.
Yeah, look, Keldrick Falk, man, he voted preseason first team All SEC. He's got to continue on that campaign and justify why we voted him there. Me, you, a lot of our fellow members of the media all voted for Keldrick because we recognize what kind of talent he is. The pass rush is going to have their say come SEC play. If Auburn is going to get a signature win, if they are going to exceed the expectations that were placed on them in the preseason by a lot of folks who didn't know what they were talking about. The pass rush solves a lot for you defensively. Suddenly the secondary looks better. Suddenly the linebackers are making plays. get them uncomfortable and off schedule, and get them confused running for their life on defense.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see from
do
Auburn.
what you did versus the run, but then create more havoc in that pass game for Ball State, where again they will feel the overwhelm consistently. Like you need to have that quarterback feeling like he's got to take off running the minute the football snaps back to him in that shotgun formation, or he's in danger of taking another sack or getting hit again by another pass rusher. And I really want to see some turnovers in this game from Auburn's defense. Turn that other team over, and you know, I thought you was going to run it back for them and give them the shutout on this one. Is that what you wanted to see? But
yeah, no, I learned my lesson on that. Too many people took me way too literally when talking about shutouts. So I'll give you guys this. In today's college football, even on teams like Ball State, there are some extremely talented guys, and keeping people off the scoreboard is as much luck as it is skill when you're talking about shutouts. And so I remember one that I called. They had to block a field goal to get it right. Like, I mean, you're talking about rolling the dice in terms of it's luck. So I don't expect perfection from this defense. I just expect them to continue to do what they've done in the 2 years since Hugh Freeze came to the Plains, and that's give Auburn a chance to win every single game they play. Last year, I thought this defense gave Auburn a chance to win every single game.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean, go back and look at those scores. They gave Auburn a chance to win ever. Nobody ran away from Auburn on the scoreboard because the defense was able to hold them. And, you know, one of the stats that I thought was remarkable about the Baylor game that you hope carries over to Ball State was Baylor only converted 5 of 15 third downs. Auburn converted 5 of 10. If they're going to convert 50% of their third downs and they're going to let their opponent convert only a third, I like Auburn in any game where that stat holds true. Now versus Ball State, you hope that not only are they converting more than 50%, but also, you know, there aren't even third downs that they have to convert. So, you know, if there are only 8 of them, I wouldn't be surprised.
Auburn force any 3 and outs versus Baylor? I don't think so.
That's a great question.
I don't think that there was a single 3 and out in that game.
Let's take a look. 3 and outs versus Baylor.
I want to see a 3 and out. How about that?
You go ahead. I'm pulling this stat right now because I think that this is an important.
But I agree that you need to be. They need to be forcing a lot of punts in this game. You know, Baylor was always going to be a team that took risks on 4th down more than other teams would. But I want to see that Ball State punter get a lot of opportunities to flex his ability to kick.
They did. They forced 1 3 and out. It was at the second quarter, 3 plays for -2 yards and a punt.
Not enough.
A 2-yard run by Bryson Washington. Sawyer Robertson got sacked on 2nd and 8, an incompletion on 3rd and 12, and a punt.
Oh, it was like one of the first possessions of the second half, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, the second quarter.
Second quarter.
Yep. And then they had a 4-play.
Was the sack the one by
I hate that it doesn't
Crawford?
say who the sack was. It doesn't say who sacked him.
Oh, I think that was the play. I mean, I think that was the drive where Crawford had the sack.
Yeah. But I will say this, Ike, although that was the only true 3 and out, Auburn had their first drive of the 3rd quarter, Baylor went 4 plays for 18 yards and a punt. How's that even possible?
They got a first down on the first play.
There you go. And then went 3 and out. After that. Yeah. So close to a 3 and out there. They had 4 plays for 10 yards at the end of the game. There was another drive, 5 plays for 19 yards. I don't know, man. They had some pretty short drives here.
Yeah.
6 plays, 4 plays, 5 plays, another 6 play. Yeah, Auburn made it tough on them. They made it tough on them.
Yeah, listen, again, I think the defense played well for the vast majority of that game. It was honestly just like 4 or 5 plays that stick out in your mind, right? Like they scored on 4th down twice, which was annoying, especially the that first 4th down score.
I know. This is so close to being a super blowout.
Oh yeah, no, like
But
Baylor was like 2 or 3 plays away from feeling
getting
hopeless.
beat by like 28. Yeah, right. I said this, and I got criticism from Baylor people for it, but I was just like, look, man, if you watch that game without your Homer glasses on, what you saw was they played with a desperation, the entire understanding that if they didn't make extra play, they had to do abnormal things to stay in this ball game as long as they did.
Yeah.
Dave Aranda could sense it. I mean, there was one where they went for it on 4th down, from there, like on 35 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy. The 4th down attempts were just like, again, to your point, they reeked of, if we don't do this, we're gonna get blown off of the field. Like they're gonna absolutely destroy us this game. We need as many points as we can muster to be able to do this in this game. And again, it just wasn't enough. And I hate it because it gave the people who think that Auburn's not going to be good some ammunition to continue what they're saying. But I love it for this defense because I really do think this defense, like I've been saying it all off season, I'll continue to say it now. I think this defense is going to be good this year. And I think you just gave them an additional reason to say, all right, cool. Y'all don't believe it. Fine. And so you put another little something, little additive in the fuel tank for a defense that I think was already ready to go out here and smash some people.
Yeah. I mean, they had 2 straight drives where they went for it on 4th down. So, to try to stay in the game. And I mean, that's tough, man. They played with so much desperation in this game. If, Sawyer Robertson weren't the quarterback that he was, that definitely fails. Yeah, again, you have to give him some credit. Yeah, he was very poised in the face of some of the situations he was put in by his coach, and he delivered. He delivered. Apparently, that's something they do, right? Like they just go for it. They went for it on 4th down a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of their offensive identity, kind of like Oregon always going for 2, even when it didn't make any sense. It's just kind of something they do, I guess. But boy, you're right, man. When you look back at the play-by-play chart, they were just like 2 plays away from this looking like a complete beatdown. The game wasn't as close as it was on paper. Like if you're Auburn, you can't let Ball State feel any hope at all. Go out there, and that's why I go back to the pass rush. I don't know if anything demoralizes a team faster than the ball is hiked and your offensive line gets completely whooped and the quarterback gets sacked.
Right.
Because once he starts to feel frantic, the rest of the team feels it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't get any plays going because you're just like, man, like how do we get back in this game if we can't even protect our quarterback for longer than a half a second?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what makes quarterbacks like Diego Pavia so good, right? Such a great team player as well, is that he's seemingly unflappable, even when he's doing terrible. And you can't block. They beat Auburn in Auburn, and he went 19th for 22 passing the ball, averaging like 2 yards a carry, and they still won the game. But like, despite the fact that it wasn't going well, he looked unflappable. And he still stepped up and made the few plays that were there. But defensively, they didn't give Diego Pavia a lot. So good quarterback, confident quarterback play can cover a lot for you on offense. And if you're Auburn, you just defensively, you just have to take that away from every team you play. Sawyer Robertson did a good job under the circumstances. Do you know, like, you didn't get a chance to watch. I don't know if you got a chance to go back and watch the Bama game, but I actually
watched maybe like the first half of it. I didn't watch the totality of it.
Yeah, I had tweeted this out. I thought Ty Simpson was doing a great job extending plays.
Yes, he had to, because they weren't blocking for boy, that offensive line was dog water.
I will take you back to Bryce Young. In his first year starting, that offensive line was complete crap too. One of the worst we've seen at Bama. And he was just back there making play after play, man. He carried Bama offensively for 2 years behind terrible offensive line play. They gave up the most pressure.
That's what I said about Jalen Milroe. I was like, I know he's not like the greatest quarterback in the world. I think his legs saved Alabama's offense from looking worse than what it, because he took a lot of sacks and he's super athletic. I like, so if your offensive line is not improved, how does Ty Simpson look better behind this? And the answer that kept coming back is, well, he's going to be able to analyze the field more quickly and he's going to get the ball out of his hand. I'm like, how? He's not going to have time. There's no analysis for they ain't blocking nobody.
All right. Yeah, you're just getting beat. You're getting beat. It's I'll take you back to the Iron Bowl in 2010. Nick Fairley completely whoops his guy, forces a fumble, and then recovers it himself. Auburn loses that football game if he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, get after the quarterback, make them uncomfortable enough to make just enough mistakes, and trust your offense to go out there and win it for you. Get the ball back to Jackson Arnold as many times as possible.
Yeah, listen, I want to see Jackson Arnold have 10 drives in the first half, man. Like, just they don't ever get to see anything productive from their offense, and you give the ball right back, and he gets an opportunity to light it up for one half and scores 52-0 in the first half. That's what I want to see.
There was a certain SEC team. I don't remember the team, and I don't remember the players. I just remember the quote by the defensive guy. The quarterback had thrown an interception, and they caught this on hot mic. The defensive guy back went to the quarterback and said, he had his head in his hands, and he said, "Get your head up, because we're about to go get this ball back for you, and you need to be ready." And they went and did that. That same player went out and got a pick and handed the ball right to the quarterback and told him, "Now go do something with it." I don't know why I could never remember who the player. Chat, help me. I know one of y'all remembers this. But they caught it on an open mic somehow, and it was an incredible soundbite. I was just like, wow. Quarterback's down after he turns the ball over. DB says, we're not doing that. We're not moping around here because you about to be back up. Quit your moping. I'm about to go get this ball. They went out and did it. I'm like, oh, I need that energy on defense for Auburn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, man, I like a cocky team as long as you can back it up. And when you go out there and back up what you said you were going to do, that's why, listen, man, say what you want to, bro. Like, that's why I wasn't mad at Tommy out there for Florida State chirping. You know, I'm not really mad at Diego Pavia for all the stuff he's saying. Like, if you believe you can go out there and do it, say it.
Yeah.
But you had best not Jaden Ott that thing.
Oh boy.
You had best not Jaden Ott it, bro. All right, let's get over here. Chats is going crazy still. Got a lot of chats we need to get to. We'll start it off with Frankie Freeze, who says, hope Bama is stuck with Kalen Harsin. That's rough, bro.
Kalen Harsin is a tough look.
Dustin Pace says, out of the most formidable QBs in the SEC, I feel like we done faced that many of the top end. No shout out, or we don't, I think is what you were going for. Don't face that many of the top end. No shutout, y'all in the chat, and my little bro Mike and Ike. Yeah, I don't think we shut him out, man. But oh, he said no, he didn't say shut out. Excuse me. He said no, shout out y'all in the chat and my little bro. Oh, so you want your little brother to get a shout out? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Dustin? You gotta slow down on the typing, man. You trying to it was a super chat. We was gonna see it, man. You don't have to type it fast. But shout out to you, Dustin, for always popping through here and doing what you do. A Deets says like and subscribe people should be way more likes. You're right. There's 300 people in here, only 103 likes, man. That's not even a thud. Wesley says, I want to see our DBs wear the oven mitt gloves they had to wear in practice the other day in the next 2 games. War Damn Eagle, the War Rapport, and the War Rapport family. They need to go out there and the DBs need a mulligan out there, man. They need to go out there and show everybody. Because listen, I was amongst the people talking about how these defensive backs were one of the best position groups on this team, and they were going to go out there with all this depth, and they were going to make it difficult for guys to complete passes, and he put up 400 on them. They need to go out there and show. Listen, the hype is what it needs to be. Yeah, we didn't do all this talking for no reason about how good this DB room is going to be. Jazzy says, on your watch the film first half, Riddick smashed Trig and pointed. We'll be fine. They are feeling it this year. For those of you who are not Green Name Gang and did not get an opportunity to see this, this isn't something that's some magical film. You can go back and watch the game. There was a play where Michael Trigg is coming on a wham block. So that's a block where he comes across the formation, and he's supposed to get the unblocked guy, which happened to be DeMarcus Riddick. And DeMarcus Riddick absolutely leveled this man, like decleated, failed, like he knocked him completely off of his feet, and then proceeds to turn around after the play and point at him and be like, yep, I got you. Like I was like, oh my goodness, he just made it. Now the play ended up gaining, like 6 yards or something like that. But Riddick turned around and looked at him like, yep, I got you, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, he laid him out. So, but again, that's the kind of energy, like the way Champ Anthony put that little shoulder into the wide receiver after the pass went air. Like, I need to see that a lot more from this team, man. Let's see. 9-time champion says, feel free to use this avatar. Will not at all be using that, but I'm glad that you I will not be putting that anywhere, anything involving me. Not even on the screen. But I feel you though. It said roll pride, by the way, with the Alabama A. War Damn Eagle says Scorpio in the squad. That's it. Hey, listen, War Eagles are always appropriate in the chat.
Always.
Last one that I have starred here is from Devin, who says, do we think that the defense rotating so much had anything to do with their performance?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, I think that this is something that they repped all offseason to be able to go in there and keep guys fresh. But you just got to go out there. Listen, rotating a bunch isn't why you missed a bunch of tackles.
Yeah.
Rotating a bunch isn't why you were incapable of getting calls right as far as alignment. You just got to go out and you need to be able to rotate that much to keep guys fresh for the entirety of the season. So I want them to continue to do that. Just do it better.
Yeah.
Go out there and produce a better result on the field because you're talented enough to do that. And I think that frequent rotation, you were talking about making recruiting pitches, is a good recruiting pitch to talented defensive backs to say, yeah, I know there's a bunch of guys on this team that are playing DB that are good, but you see how many snaps we're playing, guys. You'll get your opportunity to go play.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 100% there. The rotations are going to be so necessary come SEC play. In the fourth quarter on the road. Auburn's got some tough road games, man. They've got some tough home games, but going to Texas A&M and to Oklahoma, the fourth quarter, the energy those guys have in the fourth quarter could mean everything between winning and losing. A little extra bit because you were able to spell Keldrick Falk so he can give 103%. in the fourth quarter and get after John Mateer, man, I feel like Auburn is very, very close to something special. And step one was beat Baylor. Step two is get one of those first three. If you get two of the first three, whew, boy, are they cooking. A 5-1 Auburn team headed into mid-October. I am going to be the worst person on Twitter. The worst. So,
yeah, if Auburn gets to 5 wins before they get through the middle of October, then there's going to be a lot of people who need to come back and give some apologies.
Yeah, including some of our own media.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, it's plentiful the number of people that will need to apologize.
Yeah,
if that's the case, because again, a lot of those people didn't even give Auburn a shot in this Baylor game. So you're already your predictions are already looking shaky. Because in order for Auburn to be this team that barely makes a bowl game, they had to lose that game. Like Baylor had to be an L for that to be the case. So, because right now you're pretty much guaranteed 4 wins on the season, right? Because you got 3 cupcakes and you've already got 1 in your bag. So now you only have to win 2 SEC games to be bowl eligible. With Arkansas, Kentucky, who looked like crap their first game.
Yeah.
Missouri and Vanderbilt all on the schedule. You tell me they only have to win 2 of those games to get bowl eligible? All right.
Gonna be a lot of fun.
So, all right, Scorpio in the squad with another super chat here. Didn't have a comment attached to that one, but thank you so much for that. That's it, man. Final, you said you wanted to give some predictions before we got out of here today. What are you feeling about this score?
All right. I think Auburn scores 60 in this game.
How many did they score last year versus Alabama A&M?
66. Good question. Let's find out. Schedule 24 versus Alabama A&M. They were 73.
Sign me up for another 70 ball.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think I got to go back and see what I said. I think I said 60 to 10 or 60-17.
Sign me up for another 70. I'll go 70 to 10 in this game is what I think the final score is going to be.
Payne Thorne threw for 322 yards in that game. Yeah, I think Auburn's going to score. I think they're going to score comfortably. I don't know about a 70 ball because I think that
Jackson Deuce Knight's going to come in and throw for multiple touchdowns.
Okay,
I think,
all right, there you go.
Listen, I believe in the depth of this team so much that I think Jackson Arnold is done playing by the half or early in the third quarter, and they still score another 3 or 4 times once Deuce gets in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think Auburn 60, Ball State 17 or less, and it's a great day. So game should be over.
This is a quality message here from Jazzy. 66-6. We give them hell. I like it.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I think they got an opportunity to go out there and put 70 up on them again in this game. Jackson Arnold, 400 at least all-purpose yards in this game, and you'll have 1, if not 2, 100-yard receivers in this one. All right, that's it, man. Let's ride out of here into the sunset. Still more great content coming for you guys about this game as the week progresses. But Mike G, tell the people how they can support what we got going on.
Yeah, before we get out of here, I do want to say this, man. Every year we grow, and it is by the grace of our listeners that we grow. And like it never shocks me. Every year I learn how many people even in the Auburn media are hoping for us to fail every single year, or just hoping we go away. We're not going to fail, and we're not going away. We're going to be right here with you guys, and that's in large part because of you guys. So I don't know if we say thank you enough, but before we got out of here, I did want to say thank you to the listeners for what this ride has been. You know, if you don't know the story of the War Rapport, Ike and I ran into each other at a random house party in Birmingham back in 2019. He said, I got this great idea, followed up with me once I got back to DC. We picked a name. I remember the day you called me and we picked a name, and I could not have imagined it would have turned into this behemoth that it was from that conversation. So look, man, every listener, every subscription, every Patron member, like every single person who takes the time to listen to our content, we are super grateful for. Because you don't have to give us your time. We're not owed your time. We're not owed your consideration. And so many of you guys, year after year, come back. And not only you come back, you tell other people. Part of the blessing that has been being home is that I get to run into you guys into community. And you guys tell me, you know, how much you enjoy listening to Ike, how much you enjoy listening to Caesar, you know, B. Will when he was on the show more regularly, you know, how much you enjoy listening to us as a crew. And we are experiencing another unprecedented surge of growth right now. And every time I see the numbers go up, I just feel very, very thankful. So I just want to make sure that we always take the time from time to time to say, look, I know we ask you guys to do a lot of things, and you've heard me say this before, most of all, just listen. That's it. That's all we need. Turn us up, turn us on, right? And we will continue to give everything we have covering Auburn sports. The War Rapport was born to give a voice to fans. And I feel like we've done that. And, you know, to the extent that we could maybe do that better, we definitely want to hear from you. Tag us on social media, send us DMs. Our business email is, you know, in the information section on our channel. Just, you know, send us, you know, what you guys have. Sponsors, lifelong friends. Just, I mean, we have definitely grown. There's someone in our community right now who's going through a divorce. I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I just hit him up and said, hey, man, are you doing good? You all right? You've been supporting us since day one.
Yeah.
And the community, I think, is what makes, you know, a lot of what we're doing feel different than normal forms of media. And I never want to lose that part of this Ike. So I didn't plan to say that. I just, you know, it had been on my heart, and, you know, I wanted to make sure I shared it with you guys before this, right? Like, you know, we're in the booth. We were you and I were at the Final Four. Long, arduous drive out to San Antonio. But we made it there safely by the grace of God. And we got to cover Auburn playing for a Final Four because our listeners have given us the platform to be there.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
Listen, man, I've made real friends in this. Like,
yeah,
like, man, I kick it with Jazzy every time I'm down there in Auburn and he's there at the same time. He met us down there in San Antonio.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, we got a chance to hang out down there. Like, it's been amazing to, you know, it sounds like we're like giving you guys our final goodbyes, but like, it has been amazing really to just kind of see this grow from this kind of random idea of 4 friends getting online and talking about the team they love to what it is now. And, you know, we're making trips to cover this team. Nobody, you know, humble brag, but brag still. I don't know that there's anybody who does more in this industry with less money to work with than we do.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And we still find a way to show up the same way everybody else does. But again, that's largely because of y'all, right? Like you all make it possible for us to continue to do this.
Yeah,
and so it's been amazing that the generosity that y'all have shown.
Media Days is a great example of that. We show up to Media Days every single year, and I can tell you, I'm not sure that I think some of our fellow media members outside the Auburn sphere would definitely agree with this. I'm sure anybody puts more effort into producing their content at media days than we do. And I know because
Not
the
named
commissioner,
ESPN and SEC Network.
correct. Yeah. The commissioner of the SEC comes and sits down every year and he comments on how our setup has grown. The ESPN tech guys always come over and say, hey man, you guys got the craziest setup here. Now, for those of you who don't know, both Isaac and I have a background in business and in tech. You know, we brought those skill sets over to this, and it's helped us grow the business from a business standpoint, but also from a technical standpoint. We do a lot of things in-house that a lot of other people would have to outsource. And so, you know, being able to use those gifts and then to have you guys show up week after week, live stream after live stream. And I'll tell you this, man, like you can go a lot of places, you know, for your post game live, but you know, help us make the Ball State post game the biggest live ever. I want to see everybody in here for Ball State after the game. Now I'll be at the game, but Ike will be running the live stream. We had almost 2,000 of you guys after the Baylor game. Let's get 4,000 of you in here. Tell a friend, tell a family member. All we need you guys to do is listen. That's it. And you know, as you more of you listen, the more we grow, and you know, that helps us with sponsors. It helps us, you know, we ask you guys, you know, you support us by supporting our sponsors. Call AIMA Associates. Have a conversation with them about your financial future. It's free. It's free. The first conversation is free. And you'd be surprised, like, you know, if you get into them for some money, you'd be surprised how that will pay itself off over time. We try to pick sponsors we believe in. Believe it or not, man, we don't take every sponsor dollar that's offered to us. And we can do that the more you guys listen. So this has been an incredible ride to this point. Every time we get credentialed somewhere, every time somebody walks up to me and says, we watch your show every day, I am humbled that people give us that consideration. And we're not done. I think, you know, one of the things we heard when we started this was, well, you're only going to grow so far doing just Auburn content. How many times did we hear that?
A lot. That was the biggest thing that we heard is you guys will never, like, you'll never be able to grow if you just do Auburn.
Yeah. And we said, you know what? I don't think we've hit the ceiling. There are a lot of great Auburn fans out here who have not discovered fantastic content that they like in community on YouTube, and we continue to grow that. Since then, others have come into the space. Some have done really well, but I still think what we do is very, very unique in how our community functions and how we talk to you guys and how we allow you to converse with us. So the comment section means a lot. It does. It means so much to me that you guys come in every day and you hit the comment section after the video, and some of you will go there and write books on your feelings. I want you to know we may not respond to everyone, but we read every single one.
Yeah, I that's not even I think I read every single
comment we read, yeah. Right? Yeah. Now social media is a different story. Like some of these people on Twitter, I ain't reading all that. But on YouTube, in our comment section, we read those, and you know, we hopefully we address it. That stuff helps us form our content every week because we get to hear what you guys want to hear about, and we go out and if you every time you've seen Ike or I sit down with a head coach of Auburn, that's made possible by the listeners. You know, there was a narrative being spread by another member of the Auburn media that I hate Hugh Freeze. I don't know if it was specific to me. Maybe it was all of us. Anti-Hugh Freeze. Yet every single offseason, Hugh Freeze sits down to talk with us. One-on-one. Listeners make that possible. And so we want to continue that. And the more you guys listen, the more he'll continue to sit down with us. Again, humble brag, Ike, you got yours in, I'll get mine in. I think our Hugh Freeze interview this offseason was one of the best interviews we've ever done. You know, and you guys said it. You said, hey, like, we felt like that was fair, but tough. You asked some tough questions. And, you know, some of you said, thank you for asking tough questions, but not disrespecting the coach, for being respectful. We always want to be respectful. So, you know, growing the platform allows us to continue to say, hey, we want to have these conversations, because they don't have to say yes to us. They don't have to talk to anybody in the media if they don't want to.
Right.
But we do continue to get those interviews because our viewers are amazing. And so I'll take us out on that, guys. Great show tonight. Ike, you guys know the deal. Sign up as a patron. $5.99 a month will get you there. Saw some big time super chats come in there at the end. Do we want to get to these before we get out of here? I don't know. We didn't address them. I don't think we addressed them.
No,
but
we do need to get to those.
Yeah, I'll get through this real quick. Thank you for everybody who gifted a membership. As I mentioned, check us out on podcast, all the podcast platforms. We are there bringing you lots of great audio only content. Turn it up, turn it on, give us a listen on your favorite podcast platform. Spotify is allowing us to now post video. So we may play around with giving you your video content on Spotify as well, too. We'll see how that goes. I want to thank our friends at the Rogue Shop. You see the address there. Visit them and use code REPORT to get 15% off. I want to thank our friends at the Vive Vault. You can find them at 3462 Crosswinds Road, Suite E in Phoenix City, Alabama. Get fresh for the weekend with the Vive Vault. Setsforsociety.ai. The road to knowing self starts with a simple assessment that tells you more about how you can be a better you in a group, as an individual, as a teammate, as a coworker. Sets for Society, great sponsors of the War Rapport. They were our primary sponsor for the Final Four, and so we appreciate them for coming on as a sponsor. I want to thank our title sponsor, the Rage Room. Whether you're in Opelika or Birmingham, you see the addresses there. A good time, man. Team building, date night, whatever, you know, very unique experience there. So go bust some stuff up at the Rage Room. And last but certainly not least, our friends at Abel's Iannone and More. They're a registered investment advisor, but they're also a fiduciary, which means they're bound by law to act in your best interests. Insight, perspective, results. Visit AIMAINC.com and call 912-777-4128 to get your free consultation today. You don't need millions of dollars. You need financial advice. You just need a paycheck and some goals, something you care about. These guys can help you. So we appreciate them for sponsoring this segment.
And let's grab these last super chats here from Royce Butler, who says, why not 6-0 after UGA? Hey, listen, I'd love to see it.
I'm all about it. You'd love to see it.
9-time champ says Hudson Cock not going to transfer to Bama, right?
Yeah, y'all are wild with the roll pride stuff. Go
on. We love y'all again from the 9-time champ. Appreciate that. Big super chat here from Jazzy Joe, who just says War Rapport. Thank you so much for that, sir. A big one here from Deets, who says War Rapport family, bro. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. If y'all have never been to the Deets tailgate, man, if he's down there tailgating, y'all need to make sure y'all slide by over there for sure.
Yes, indeed.
5 gifted memberships from Wesley Hilson. Travis Latham says, as an Auburn Tigers fan since 1983 and living in Tennessee, you guys have always been a wish for me to know what's happening with my team. Thanks. Thank you so much. Glad to be able to provide this service for y'all. And a super chat from TK just for GP, I suppose. But thank you so much for that. All right, we are going to get out of here. If you haven't already, please share the content with somebody at the War Rapport out there. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. We are at the War Rapport on X and Instagram. We are also TW Rapport on TikTok. More great content coming for you guys for the remainder of the week over on the Auburn Express. Make sure y'all tap in over there. But we are out of here until the next time. And as always, War Eagle.